What's going on, friends? This is Phantom Base coming at you with our Week 1 ITL match versus Matty Brolick, coach of the LA Reshirams. You guys know who he is, and if you don't know who he is, you're either lying to yourself or you need to go get subbed, because this man is a legend. Not to mention, he's a really cool dude, and probably the easiest person to schedule with ever. So, yeah. Let's kind of hop right into this, because really I don't really have a whole lot to say here other than looking at team matchup here. I feel like it's kind of even in the fact that we both have threats for each other, and we both have solid defensive checks and most things on each other's team. The biggest thing I was worried about was actually Cartana, and it didn't come. So we'll quickly go over the team we have here for you today. We have our Scarf Naganadel with Dragon Pulse U-Turn, and Sludge Wave, and Flamethrower. Flamethrower for the obvious Cartana. Obviously for Cartana is a guaranteed check to a Cartana that's either Scarfed or gets the speed boost from Beast Boost. So that's the thing. Also is a check to Scarf Lele, check to +1 Salamence. Overall, this thing is just a really good check to those things, and I really needed this to potentially be my cleanup late game. Next up, we have an Assault Vest Incineroar, meant to take on Tapu Lele. Anything short of modest specs was not 2-hit killing me with anything, except for Focus Blast. And if he wasn't specs, he wasn't 2-hit killing me with Focus Blast. So, and we 2-hit KO'd him with Flare Blitz, which was great. We had Leech Life, we had U-Turn, and I believe we had Earthquake. Earthquake was to capitalize on Muck that thought it could switch into me. And Flare Blitz is for Cartana / Ferrothorn / Excelgor. He didn't have a whole lot of solid switches to Flare Blitz. Like, non-bulky Mega Gallade dropped to Flare Blitz. There's a whole lot of things that this thing just capitalized on a lot. After Rock's Lele died to Flare Blitz. Unless he was really, really bulky. Pyukumuku, you see sitting there is kind of a problem. But overall, it's just U-turn bait. Next up, we have a Spadef Mega Scizor with enough attack to kill a Mega Gallade with Aerial Ace after it gets a close combat drop. So, regardless of its bulk investment. And we're running U-Turn, Roost, and Defog. Because originally we had Defog on the Florges over here, but decided to put it on Mega Scizor in exchange for HP Fire on Florges. But then we changed HP Fire on Florges to something else in a second. Anyway, this thing is a really good check to Lele, good check to a lot of special offensive problems on his team. Helps me check Excelgor pretty well. We blow back Excelgor, we blow back Gallade, we actually can roll a 2-hit kill Tapu Lele if it's got no bulk investment, which is really nice. Next up we have a fully Fizdef Florges, Moonblast, Wish Protect, and Aromatherapy. Aromatherapy because I knew that in the event Muck and or Pyukumuku was coming, one of them was carrying Toxic, the other one was going to have Poison Touch, or one of them could have Poison Touch. I wasn't about to let Toxic Spam become a thing, so, and I wasn't about to allow burns to happen from his Bulky Waters, which I think, well, I say Bulky Water, that was his Bulky Water. He has no Fire type, if I recall correctly, so I wasn't too worried about burns, actually. I didn't want to have to deal with things like Freeze, or Poison. Yeah, mostly Poison. Poison was a problem for this team. So, Florges has been dedicated Wish support, my Cleric, and we live 2 hits from a non-boosted Gallade. We kill with we kill with 2 Moonblasts. We kill Salamence with Moonblast after Rocks, guaranteed, regardless of its bulk. But if it's offensive, it just drops to Moonblast. We kill Druddigan with 2 Moonblasts. Lele, it's kind of we're kind of a really good switch into Lele, even if it has Psyshock, because we're Fizdef. Psyshock does max like 51%, I think. So after leftovers, it's a 2-hit KO, and we do a solid chunk with Moonblast, and we can wish support stall or wish stall that thing out pretty easily. So next up, we have a Banded Hoopa Bound. Enough speed only to creep Alolan Muck because I didn't need to creep anything else. So we were able to run Adamant Band and a lot of bulks. We actually live a Moonblast from Tapu Lele if it's not specs. We live almost anything from Mega Gallade unless it's X-Scissor. or like Adam in close combat. Other than that, we live. And Hyperspace Fury one-shots Lele, Hyperspace Fury one-shots Gallade, Hyperspace Fury two-shots Pyukumuku, Hyperspace Fury one-shots Salamence, Hyperspace Fury two-shots Druddigan. After rocks, Hyperspace Fury one-shot. It can potentially one-shot Muck, or two-shot Muck. So, yeah, that's fun to think about there for a second. Kartana gets blown back by Fire Punch. We have Ice Punch as well for Gallade, and not Gallade, for Druddigan and Salamence. And, yeah, Fire Punch for Excelgor, Kartana, Ferrothorn, something else. Ice Punch also for Stunfisk. And we have Drain Punch, because recovery is recovery, and Drain Punch does a crap ton to Alolan Muck. So, actually does more, actually I think it does the same amount as Hyperspace Fury, but gives us recovery and doesn't make us die to a Pursuit. Actually, what's funny is with our bulk investment, we take a Pursuit after the +1 defense drop, or the -1 defense drop. So, last mon we have is our Dugtrio. We are creeping Mega Gallade. We have Rocks, EQ, Reversal, and Memento. A Reversal is specifically meant so that if we get down to 1 HP, and we have Chip on either Ferrothorn or Kartana, we actually can knock them out with Reversal. Because at 1 HP, we just blow them away. And if we're not low enough, and we find out that Kartana's not Scarfed, we click Memento and just get him for free on Naganadel, just to instantly pressure that thing. Now, right away, I kind of see that his team is really weak to Fairy Spam. He has no switch-ins, period, the end, like no resistances at all. His best switch-in is Alolan Muck. And I had the feeling that he may expect me to lead either Naganadel, or maybe even Hoopa. I don't know, like, the way his team is constructed, I think he was expecting me to lead with, potentially Scizor right away, because get the Mega Evolution off for free, and, literally anything on his team can carry fire coverage outside of Pyukumuku. HP Fire from Lele does a crap ton, Fire Punch from everything else, or Fire Fang does a lot. And we're not Fizz Def, so we're taking a lot more than we should. But I thought, because I didn't want to allow him free setup with his Gallade, or even potential free setup with the Salamence, I wasn't going to let him get those kind of things to instantly start breaking my team freely. So I thought Florges was my best lead here, because it just automatically checked all of his offensive threats really hard. So we leave Florges, as he does lead the Gallade here, which is really good for me, because that gives me a lead matchup instantly, and it lets me essentially just click Moonblast and hit something hard. Even though we have no special attack, we have 4 special attack investment, we still do a lot of damage, because base 112 special attack is nothing to sneeze at. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to click Moonblast, because it's free. And he switches hard out into Pyukumuku. We hit that thing, and we do 23% to a Pyukumuku. That's a lot of damage. So, you see leftovers, meaning it's not Rocky Helmet, which is good. It means we can spam lots of U-turn everywhere, because I don't think anything else in this team's going to be Rocky Helmet. Maybe Druddigan, but, so, really U-turn spam is kind of free here. So, I expect him here to either Baton Pass, or to hard switch out, or to go for Soak, or Toxic, or something like that. I just expect him to go for one of the moves Pyukumuku is known for. So I decided to go for another Moonblast to get some damage, keep this thing somewhat low. He hards out into Lele though, and as you can see, this thing is kind of offensive. We do 35% to Lele. And yeah, that tells me that it's kind of offensive. And so he actually makes a switch out here to Druddigan, which I didn't expect, but I was going to go into Incineroar anyway, because it was my play. It covered him going for a Psyshock, it covered him going for Moonblast. Really, it covered any of his options outside of him doubling back into Pyukumuku. And even in Pyukumuku, I just got a free switch into Hoopa at that point. So, we switch hard out into Incineroar here, and sadly, we have to go for a U-turn here, because it's either he sets up rocks, or he goes for Earthquake, or he predicts me he goes for Gunk Shot. I don't really know. So we click U-turn here, and we go hard out to Florges here, as he goes for rocks. I'm like, okay, here I've got a scout. I've got a scout for the Gunk Shot, because if he's got it, it'll blow away my Florges. I'm not Kiwi Berry at all. So we're gonna go hard out to Scizor. to scout for this gunk shot, and he does have it. So the next play I make, like, okay, I want to keep rocks off my side of the field. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just straight up here click defog to make sure we get rid of these rocks. And he goes for fire punch, and as soon as he clicks that, I'm like, okay. I looked at, and the crit did not matter, because in the end, I went and looked it up, and he, especially the way he told me later that his damage was, he was a sheer force set, so regardless, he was killing me. He didn't need a life orb, and he was doing minimum 99% to my set if he was an adamant max attack sheer force set. So, thankfully that hex didn't matter, but we got rid of the rocks. That was important, and really, Scizor kind of did his job in the fact that he didn't bring Kartana, so there really was no reason to bring it, to keep it too long. So we go into Naga to kind of scare that thing out. We go for a Dragon Pulse and do 48% with a crit. So that tells me this thing is really fat. Now, here I go into Dougie to faux trap it. I know he's got Baton Pass. He knows he's got Baton Pass. Everyone knows he's got Baton Pass, okay? It's obvious. So I know he's going to try to show it off here. So, or not show it off, but to get out into what he wants to. So I know my very obvious play here is to click Earthquake if I think that I've got him trapped. However, because I know he's got Baton Pass, and I'm pretty sure he's going to go for it, my play here is to go for Rocks, so I can get Rocks up for free and guaranteed hurt something as soon as it comes in. So in this line, we actually do get a good, a nice solid play off here to getting Rocks up as he goes for the Baton Pass. We click EQ here to scout the strutting and damage. We do 33%. So that tells me that he's quite bulky and he gets his rocks up again, which I'm like, it's okay. The rest of my team doesn't really care too much about rocks. So here I actually switch out and go into Florges as he goes for the fire punch, and I kind of expected that because that was the best thing he could. It was the most damaging move he had for my I guess that was the most damaging move he had for my Doug Trio. Surprised he didn't go for a dragon move. Though I guess in retrospect my switch to Florges was obvious, but not so obvious anyway. We've gone for a gunk shot. I don't know. Fire punch was all around safe play. So I switch into Florges here, take that like a champ, and we click Moonblast, I believe, and do 27, just Pyukumuku. So we see the roll is kind of 23 to 27%. Meaning we can start racking up damage on this thing with Rocks plus Moonblast. So here we go for Wishes, he goes for Toxic and misses. And normally this would have mattered, but I know it's to force me to go for Aromatherapy, but in the end I do just click Aromatherapy as he goes for whatever he wants. Because like, if you click Soak, so be it. I can then go straight out to Hoopa, pretty much for free, as he goes for Recover. Now, here he's gonna go. I click Moonblast again, get another crit, and do 33%. So he clicks Soak here. Now, here, I know 100% he's got to go for either Recover or Toxic. Here, my play is to 100% go into Hoopa, because I need to offensively pressure this thing instantly, because at this range, we can kill it. So, Hoopa comes in, he goes for Recover, and he's at 100%. He's all the way full. Now, here, I know he has no switch-ins to Hyperspace Fury, because after Rocks, depending on his mug spread, he could potentially die to 2 Hyperspace Furies. So, he goes into Mug, takes Rocks damage. Hyperspace Fury does 42%, which is ridiculous, but the way he EV'd his Mug, I went and watched this battle, but he got himself right into figure range, which is really good for him. Now, he makes the play here. I knew he was going to pursue me, but there's no reason for him not to, but there's also no reason for me not to switch. He's at near full health, and I have to make sure that I can bring this Hoopa in again later. I have enough bulk that I know I can live this pursuit, and we live it quite easily. We take 65%, telling me this thing is not really offensive. So that means that Dougie can potentially live a knockoff from this thing. And in retrospect, I'm really wishing I was the Ground EMZ set, because I would have taken much less from this knockoff here. But here, it's a pretty, if I recall correctly, I'm actually going to calc it really fast, but if I recall correctly, I'm pretty sure that I non-invested. Let's check Whack-A-Mole here, because we had a decent bit of HP investment set. Alolan Mug, the Trapper set, with no attack investment. really careful nature. Knockoff does 81 to 96. So literally, that roll automatically tells me he has no attack investment. So like he got a really high roll on top of that. So we actually do enough of a chunk that we can. It's funny as he lives that, telling me that he's really bulky. And so we click EQ again to kill this thing. And now, he goes into mince here, so I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay. The only thing, there's only two reasons why he brings in this mince. Either he thinks I've got Stone Edge and I'm going to go for it now to do damage, or he's scarfed and he can kill me and just try to sweep me here. Which, you know, in retrospect, you really could have, because if you click EQ, if you get scarfed and click EQ here, I don't think anything on my team is taking +1 earthquake, except for maybe Florida's. So, funny thing is though, he's not scarfed, and we click Memento and really get some momentum in our favor here. So we go into Naga here. It's a guaranteed switch in, and he's got no sludge wave switch ins now, literally 0. So my play here every time is to click U-turn actually, because I want to make sure that I can get into something for free on this Pyukumuku. I don't know why I went to Florida. Oh wait, that's right, because I was going to wish up my Hoopa. So he clicks Baton Pass here on my wish, and goes into Lele, which is funny because I actually think here I go for a Protect on his double out. Yeah, I go for Protect here on his double out, or Moonblast here on his double out, and we get our whole 1% back. Now here we're going to wish up again as he goes for Toxic. And I decided here I'm not going to reveal Aromatherapy yet. So I'm going to harden a Hoopa, and I'm going to take my wish back as he goes for Recover, which puts me in a really solid position, because now I really offensively pressure this Pyukumuku, because Banded Hyperspace Fury into non-stab Banded Hyperspace Fury still kills this thing. So we click Hyperspace Fury here, and we guarantee kill this Dronigan, which is nice, because it also means that we don't take Rocky Helmet Chip. He goes into Gallade here though, which makes me very sad. He Mega Evolves and goes for Drain Punch, and the only reason I stayed in is because I wasn't going to allow him to get free setup. Because if he decided to set up a Bulk Up or even a Sword Stance, he died to Hyperspace Fury, which is what I wanted. So yeah, he kills us, but in the end we get a free Surge into Floridas. Now I go in here to scout for the Poison Jab, because we can live a Poison Jab pretty easily, and he switches out here and goes Pyukumuku. So I had to toss a click Moonblast just to make sure that I wasn't going to be capitalized on, because nothing else he has switched in, because after Rocks, Lele was dropping to a Moonblast. So this turn we click Aromatherapy, I believe. Yeah, we click Aromatherapy to cure my Toxic, which is nice, as he clicks Recover. And next up we click Wish to get as he goes for Soak. So like, oh, okay. Next up we're just gonna click Moonblast here to see what he does. And he misses the Toxic again, which really sucks. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. So like here, I double out into my Incineroar to take the Toxic, so we can potentially just U-turn out. Or we click Leech Life to get some HP back. Only heal back 9, and he goes for Soak again. And so here we take some Toxic damage and we click U-turn. So here, go back into Floridas, and we click Wish here as he goes for Toxic, I believe. I just wanted to make sure that I could keep my I felt really bad because he missed like 3 Toxics this game, which is really sad, but like in the end it didn't really matter too much. It just kind of prolonged the game a little bit. But I figured if I could wish into my Incineroar, it was still a check to Lele in some respect. So I click Moonblast here as he goes for the Soak to get rid of my Fairy typing, and we get the wish back to ourselves. We're going to click Wish here again as he goes for Toxic. So like, okay. Here I click Aromatherapy to heal up both my Incineroar and my Floridas, as he Baton passes the minus special attack. So now after Rocks, he's pretty much almost guaranteed in range of a Moonblast into he dies to anything Naganadel, but after Rocks he definitely dies to anything Floridas now. So I think I click Wish or Protect here to scout for his move, see if he was scarfed or not. So I clicked that, and then I click Wish again as he goes for Toxic. So I'm like, okay, that's no big deal, I guess. So then I double out into my Incineroar to get my Wish back, is he goes for the baton pass, goes into his Mega Gallade, and that was the play that he needed to get in and essentially just win here. So here I wasn't going to let him set up for free. I needed to make sure that I absolutely killed this thing. And I clicked Flare Blitz, and turns out he's bulky. Really bulky. So this is essentially GG, because Drain Punch just heals him back up to be right out of Knocking to Dust Sludge Wave range, which really sucks, because funny thing is if I recall correctly, let me check my floor just a second. I think Gallade was a very bulky SD set. I'm gonna click +2 here and see, because we were 82%. Yeah, he had to be adamant in order to kill us. Yeah, and even then it was a pretty high roll. But nevertheless, he got the roll and he killed us. And the funny thing is had he not killed us, we would have actually been able to come in and do a solid chunk of damage, because all I would have needed was a poison on his Pyukumuku. Though in the end, I think Pyukumuku actually would have just beat us by clicking Soak, so it didn't matter. But anyway, it was a really good game against Matty Brawlick. You guys know who he is. If you haven't checked out his side of the match, I'm not brave enough to go shirtless on camp, so you can enjoy that for his side of the battle. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And if this all has been for me, this has been Fan Base. We'll catch you next week when we face Aki VGC and his Portland Crowbats and his scary friggin' team. Catch you guys later. Bye, guys.